From Goldenlife Creative Vision Studios, we create wisdom through vision. Every story begins as a spark. Every spark becomes light. And through light, we create wisdom. Goldenlife Creative Vision Studios.
Welcome to today's Explainer. So today, we are taking on a really, truly transformative topic. We're going to dive into how to heal our deepest inner wounds and finally silence that relentless negative voice in our heads using actual problem-to-solution approaches. We're going to break down the exact mechanics of this, both the psychological and the biological sides of the coin. So grab your notebooks, get comfortable, because we are jumping right in. I want you to think about something real quick. When was the last time you were overly harsh on yourself? Maybe it was, just a tiny mistake at work or a completely offhand comment you made that you instantly regretted. Look, we have all been there, and having a brief moment of self-doubt is totally 100% normal. But what actually happens when that fleeting moment turns into this constant, heavy, lingering presence in your mind? Well, here is our roadmap for the Explainer today to figure that out. First, we'll meet your inner critic. Then we'll uncover the wounded inner child. From there, we pivot to solutions, regulate and create safety, followed by strategies for deep healing, and finally, cultivating the loving parent voice. All right, let's get right to it. Section 1, meet your inner critic, the persistent voice of doubt. So clinical psychologist Maxim von Sabler defines this inner critic as way more than just a passing bad thought. He describes it as a persistent internal voice that judges, chastises, and just relentlessly undermines our self-esteem. And here's the kicker. When you leave it unchecked, this punishing tyrant inside your mind literally becomes the primary driver for things like anxiety, depression, burnout, and that exhausting need for extreme perfectionism. Now, you might be wondering, where exactly does this tyrant even come from? Well, almost always, it starts from the outside. What begins as a fear of external judgments, like, say, a really strict parent or just intense societal pressure, eventually morphs. We internalize those outside expectations so deeply until they actually become our own self-sabotaging negative dialogue. We essentially start doing the critic's job for them. Which brings us to Section 2, the wounded inner child, uncovering the root cause. Research psychologist Dr. Diana Rabe points out a really powerful insight here. She notes that while the idea of an inner child can represent these lighter, carefree years for some people, for a lot of us, it's something entirely different. If you experienced neglect, trauma, or really any kind of deep emotional pain, your inner child feels small, incredibly vulnerable, and in desperate need of protection. To survive that, we often bury this unprocessed pain. We basically hide our youthful playfulness away just to protect ourselves, both the kid we once were and the adult we are today. In clinical terms, when we talk about the wounded inner child, we're actually referring to unresolved, complex childhood trauma that is actively driving your behavior right now in adulthood. And here is something absolutely profound. Suppressing this toxic shame creates real, tangible emotional and energetic tension in your physical body. If it stays unhealed, those blocked emotions can eventually manifest as physical disease, chronic pain, or even autoimmunity. The mind and the body are just intrinsically linked here. It's wild. So, how do we fix it? Section 3, regulate and create safety. This is our problem-to-solution approach. Before we dive into the specific steps, get this. Recent wellness studies from 2025 show that utilizing a structured healing approach yields a massive 25% higher success rate in long-term emotional stability. That's a game changer. It shows that healing isn't just about reading a self-help book and hoping for the best. It requires a real, actionable framework. Okay, so take a look at this 5-step plan, and I really want you to pay close attention to step 1. Most people try to just logic their way out of emotional pain, but remember, the body stores stress in the nervous system. You absolutely have to biologically regulate your nervous system first, things like targeted breath work or optimizing your sleep to create physical safety. You can't skip this. Only after your body feels safe can you move to step 2, awareness of your shame. Then step 3, setting healthy boundaries for protection. Step 4, expressing yourself creatively. And finally, step 5, integrating all this into your daily life. This is exactly where clinical methods like solution-focused brief therapy, or SFBT, really shine. The brilliance of this kind of therapy is that it doesn't keep you stuck in the past, endlessly analyzing the problem. Instead, it empowers you to use your very own inner resources to focus straight on solutions. It helps you untangle those deep limiting beliefs and transform unhelpful emotional reactions into healthy, adaptive ones. Moving right along to section 4, strategies for deep healing, practical steps for reconnection. So what can you do right now? Here are 4 practical sequential steps you can literally start using today. First, simply acknowledge that your inner child is actually there. Just say hello. Second, use meditation to gently open up a dialogue. Third, sit down and write a letter to your younger self, offering the wisdom and comfort you just didn't have back then. And fourth, read supportive affirmations to yourself in the mirror. And look, I know that sounds a little cliche, but it's not just a new age trick. Repeating affirmations actively rewires your brain's neural pathways, literally replacing the old negative mental loops with new loving ones. Now, a fantastic tool for all of this is journaling. Journaling and reflection provide a totally safe, restorative space for this heavy lifting. And yes, it requires a lot of patience and gentleness. But when we use a journal to address those old hurts with real compassion, our mind-body healing accelerates dramatically. It's like our energetic bodies come back into alignment, and those blocked heavy emotions we talked about earlier, they are finally processed and released. Which leads us to our final step. Section 5, the loving parent voice, restoring your wholeness. Think of it like a tug of war in your mind. On one side, you've got this punishing tyrant, the inner critic who is just demanding perfection entirely out of fear. But on the other side, clinical psychology offers us the loving parent voice. And this voice, it runs purely on self-compassion. The ultimate goal here is to learn how to act like a loving parent to yourself. You want to offer yourself the exact same comfort, the exact same patience and kindness that you would naturally give a small, vulnerable child who is hurting. To tie this whole shebang together, here are your main takeaways for building true, lasting resilience. First, use cognitive behavioral therapy techniques to separate that critical voice from actual, rational truth. They are not the same. Second, build a support network that constantly reminds you of your worth. Third, practice daily positive self-talk. Fourth, never ever hesitate to seek professional counseling if you feel stuck. And most importantly, cultivate deep, profound empathy for your own imperfections. Remember, your inner critic is just one misguided aspect of your incredibly multifaceted self. It absolutely does not define you. So, I want to leave you with one final big question to think about today. Will you just continue allowing that misguided inner critic to sabotage your journey? Or are you ready to actually use these tools to step into a life driven by profound self-love? The power to heal is entirely, 100% in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep healing, and I will see you next time.
Bitter voice resonates in my mind, echoes of a past I left behind. I keep on punishing myself with dread, trapped by the shadows inside my head.
What have I done?
This Frankenstein logic is taking its toll. Fragmented pieces taking control. Stitch taking a breath, I'm finding my way, holding my child in the light of the day.